Hello everyone, and welcome to the 2020 Virtual Conrad Awards. Normally we'd be gathering Croft Hall right now with parents and supporters to celebrate the end of another year of Concord activities. But it's not been a normal year by any means, one in fact that we are very unlikely to forget. However, even though we haven't been together very much at all in 2020, we felt that we should recognise some of the outstanding efforts that people have made to keep our activity alive and well in these challenging circumstances. There will, I'm afraid, be no actual Conrads this year. No certificates, no flowers, no sumptuous buffet, no staff pantomime, and no emotional speeches from certain members of staff. We have not separated All Stars and Blue Street Brass Awards this year. Those about to be mentioned have been selected from across the range of our activities. The first we're going to mention are the brass players. Sam Eaton, Reuben Sri Pathmanathan and Edward Dugdale. They're being honoured for being ever present at rehearsals, when they're not in isolation of course, and keeping up their own progress. James Eaton made some very special efforts at home, on his own, to master a very difficult piece and being accepted for the International Virtual Drum Corps. Robert Makin is again recognised for being an ever-present member whose sense of humour has kept everybody's spirits up throughout. Percussion players. Esther Yates has in a very short time fitted really well into the All-Stars drumline and picked up many new skills along the way. Aaron Walker, as ever, brings along his fantastic smile and immense enthusiasm to everything that he does. Summer Hayes and Josh Bird both bravely entered the Beaver Individuals and Ensembles online showcase as solo kit drummers and both won gold medals. Onto the front line, Ralph Clay is honoured for perfecting his talents with the keyboard at home whilst in lockdown. He worked through a couple of tunes in the first lockdown without assistance. This enabled the front line to be much more productive in rehearsal time, allowing time to learn other material. And the colour guard, Dawn McLaughlin and Lizzie Makin are recognised for their efforts to keep the guard and the dancers busy throughout the year with both online work and rehearsals held outdoors in local parks. Ellie Crouch has been a constant attender at the reduced rehearsals. She has grown in character and confidence, learning many new skills. Lily Palmer and Ben Eyre again entered the Beaver Individuals and Ensembles competition. They entered the colour guard duet section and walked away with a gold medal. Recognising some members of staff, James Salt for organising regular Zoom meetings right from the beginning of lockdown, keeping the members of the front line involved, busy and enthusiastic about their activity. Chris Eaton for his excellent weekly Blue News newsletters, sending out information to all, and Lynn Eaton for her regular text messages with vital information about rehearsals and indeed non-rehearsals. Glyn Boyington for his weekly end of rehearsal prayers, sprinkled with a few solo performances to entertain his many followers. And finally to all instructional staff who went the extra mile to prepare online exercises, activities and rehearsals throughout the very difficult months and kept the whole organisation together. From the Supporters Association, Joe Clay is recognised for organising and creating the latest wild adaptation of all the uniforms, despite the lockdown and the distancing. A special award to Matthew Belton, whose contribution towards the drumline hasn't gone unnoticed over the years, having been with us from a very young age. Even through the COVID era, important exams, and his age group one by one moving on to pastures new, his passion for still turning up and rolling up his sleeves to help the younger All-Stars is something that deserves some recognition, and a massive thank you from all the drumline staff. So that brings us to the close of our virtual awards ceremony for 2020. A massive thank you to all those who nominated people for awards, to Chris for the technical aspects of producing this, and to everyone involved in the very special Concord family who have faced the problems this year head on and tackled them with gusto. I'm pretty sure we can now look forward to a fairly special year in 2021. No one can yet tell just how it will work out, whether there will be a drum corps or any other competitive circuit, whether summer festivals will go ahead and give us our opportunity to perform, we just don't know at this stage. What we do know is that Concord members, staff and supporters will continue to provide top-class entertainment wherever possible, and that we will all have some tremendous fun in doing so. Thank you, and a very happy Christmas to you all.
Good evening everyone, and thank you to Roger. Apologies to you all for gate crashing on your evening, but I really couldn't let this year go without having my usual emotional speech of thank yous. I have brought some tissues just in case, and I'll just get rid of this mask as I'm the only one here. So forgive me if I'm repeating anything that Roger's mentioned. I haven't seen any of his footage, so here goes. First of all, I want to say a massive thank you to all the members on behalf of the staff. Whether you're in All Stars or whether you're in Blue Street Brass, it's been a very difficult year, but you've all worked so hard up to the first lockdown, and thank you to everything that you've done since. And congratulations to anyone who's won any awards. Thank you also to any parents that have been out there and ferrying everyone to rehearsals, and thank you for all your support and encouragement during this lockdown time and trying to keep your kids' interest too. I also want to thank all our supporters, and in particular I want to specially mention Alison Babiri for continuing to keep up to date all the Children's University information and ensuring that all the kids will still all get their awards. Now also a massive thank you to Jo Clay for organising and sewing all the uniforms, even though we didn't know at the time that we weren't going out, but she did it anyway, and she did a lot of it at the beginning of lockdown as well. Despite everything, she still did it. So thank you so much, Jo. Also, despite the fact that we didn't actually travel anywhere to any competitions, I just want to give a shout out to Jenny, Chris, and obviously coast trucker Lemuel, who were on standby to organise all our transport, and obviously would have driven us all to our outdoor rehearsals and to any competitions that we would have done. But thank you anyway for being on standby. I also want to give a big shout out to our alumni. Many of those have been involved with or following all the videos that we've done, including the Pass It On Challenge. They did voting for the drum battle, they watched individuals competition online, and some of them have contributed to our newsletters that we've done as well. We hope you enjoy the Christmas countdown videos that are coming soon, and thank you again for all your support. Thanks also to the Board of Governors who have continued to meet on Zoom and ensure that Roger and the rest of the staff are doing the best that we can to keep this organisation going through these difficult times. I also wanted to give some special thank yous to our staff members. So obviously I'll start with Chris, my husband, who spent hours of time writing the IMG show, ready for Blue Street Brass. He was rehearsing it, he was teaching it, and since lockdown, he's been keeping us all up to date with these newsletters. He's been teaching, filming, and editing endless videos for individuals, for Christmas Countdown and beyond. So thanks to Chris. Also to Steve, as well as writing music and the drill for all the All-Star season, and organising quizzes that we did with the brass during the lockdown. His dedication to making all these brass members from All Stars sound great and improve their skills. It's really great fun to watch him teach. He's been also recording himself and editing as well, so thanks very much to Steve. To James Salt, again, as writing music and teaching the All Stars pit section, is also chairman of the board for the governors of Concord. And again, he's been filming and editing too. They've all been at it, to be honest. So anyway, thanks to James. To Catherine and Lynn for helping James teach the pit and providing the kids with endless support. Thank you both. You do a great job. And to Dan, Chris Healy and Sam Healy for teaching the percussion, who this year have had a lot of new members, as well as Dan particularly writing and teaching music for the All-Star show, organised and editing the videos for the drum battle competition, which he took hold of himself, and also with the help of Chris Healy, they've also done lots of videos for the individuals and for the Christmas as well. So well done to all of them. To Colour Guard now. So to Dawn, Lizzie and Doreen for organising Colour Guard rehearsals and all the choreography for both All Stars and BSB. And a special shout out to Dawn for taking on and organising the Pass It On Challenge. She distributed equipment to both alumni and to current members, and she sorted it all out and she pulled it all together. It was a fantastic achievement and everybody really enjoyed watching it. So thank you to Dawn. And to Kathy, although she decided to take more of a bit of a back seat from teaching, she still continues on in the background, doing all sorts of bits and pieces, but also particularly she's organised this place, Croft House, and making sure that all the strict routines and regimes have been stuck to and implemented, and she's been keeping Glyn on his toes about keeping that up. Also, I want to thank Mark. He did the writing of the drill for the show that we would have done for IMG, and we may still do it at some point, so it's not wasted, Mark, don't worry. But thank you again for all your support and your help on that. Now we get to Glyn. Well, what can we say about Glyn? First of all, the fact that he's got to grips with technology and produced his own little weekly videos off his own back. Nobody asked him to do it. Doing all these notices, keeping us up to date with birthdays, keeping us up to date with what's going on in all the organisation. And despite a few Tweety Bird moments in his little videos, it went really well. And just generally for being there prior to everyone, he comes in, he sanitises everywhere, everybody arrives, and then we all go home and he sanitises it all again. He also attends all the meetings with Roger on Zoom with for DCUK and Bieber and everything, and particularly Glyn has been constantly scrutinising all the paperwork, government advice and everything, and rewriting risk assessments constantly to make sure that we can carry on as we are doing. So a massive well done to Glyn and thank you. And last but not least, Roger, despite having to shield due to his elderly status, sorry Roger, he continues to organise everything at home, from home. It keeps us on our toes, and certainly Chris. And in the background, again, He's attending all these meetings. He continues to do endless work applying for funding and help and support for Concord, because as an organisation, because quite frankly, obviously, we've not had the income that we would normally have this year. So that is very important. So a massive thank you to Roger. I know it's hard being at home and not really feeling as involved, but you are, because again, as I say every year, without you, Kathy and Glyn, we wouldn't have been here in first place, none of us, none at alumni, none at Kids Today, and none at staff. So we just want all three of you to know how much we appreciate you. And that's it, end of sermon, okay? Hope that weren't too much. Hope you haven't gone off and done something else in between. Hope you've listened. And I just want to say, on behalf of all the staff, we hope that all of you have a happy and safe Christmas, and we hope that we can all be back together again better soon. So take care, and thank you very much. I got through that, the tissues. Bye!